Welcome to Caring Community with your hosts, Jay and Diane West. In this community, creative initiatives are welcomed. A culture of transformation is normal, and miracles are expected. Welcome to Caring Community.
Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Diane.
And this is Caring Community. Welcome to our show today, and our special guest is Renae Bush.
Hello, thank you for inviting me on today.
You're welcome. Renae works with Heartland Hope Mission here in town, which is where we first met her, but we've also established a friendship with her and a relationship with her in other areas in the city, so we wanted her to be on our show, especially as we go into the holidays and talking about Heartland Hope Mission and how you all might be able to be of help to her. Why don't you give us a little background? I know you were raised here in Omaha. Why don't you just share few things, personal things about yourself that the viewers might be interested in?
Sure, yeah. I was born and raised here. I actually went to Benson High School, so I'm a Benson Bunny. Graduated in 2003. And
that's what they are, the Benson Bunnies?
We are the Benson Bunnies,
wow.
The Mighty Bunnies.
The what?
The Mighty Bunnies.
I've never, I got to interrupt. We know of a school up in Minnesota, they're called the Blossoms. Can you imagine being the football team and you're the Blossoms?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And we know another one in California, they're the Anteaters. It's like, wow, it's like, where do they come up with these mascots? So anyway, the bunnies. So
yes, and I decided to go to college, and I started off at Metro, and I did some classes also at UNO and got my associate's degree actually in interior design, which I'm not, I do a little bit on the side, but I don't work in that field actually right now, of course. But yeah, and I have a great son. He's 11, goes to Lewis and Clark here in Omaha. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm all the way from Omaha,
born and raised Omaha native.
Yes.
We're natives, but native California, native Wisconsin, meet in the middle, great people.
Yes.
Midwest. Well, she's from the Midwest. We're the West because our last name is West. So but anyway,
right.
Don't share that very often. But I know you are involved with Heartland Hope. Give us a little brief history there, and then we'll segue to some of these other things and come back to that.
Sure. So they've been around for about 16 years. I'm sorry about that.
16 years,
Yep.
Heartland Hope, and they're located where?
At 2021 U Street in South Omaha.
South Omaha, okay.
And started off as a church at first, a Hispanic church, and then they actually had a lot of people knocking on their doors needing food. So
right.
God kind of gave them that direction to start a food pantry.
And in those days, they were in a much smaller building than what you're in now.
Right. Oh, yes.
Different leaders,
yes.
as I recall. Because our son was involved with them when he went to Grace University. He was involved with some of the outreaches there when they were in the small building. So.
Yeah, so Chelsea Salafu is now our CEO.
Okay.
And we had purchased the new building in 2015 on the 2021 U Street.
Right. Can you describe that building a little bit to the people?
Yeah, it used to be the Sokol Gymnasium. And so all I know is that there used to be gymnastic classes there, and they sold it to us, and we remodeled it to fit the food pantry. So what is really a blessing about the building is now we used to have 3 buildings. You used to have to go across the street to get clothing. We can all do it in one, and nobody has to go outside.
So there's I've been there several times. You have the food portion, you have the clothing portion, and upstairs is the storage. We put all this stuff that hasn't been given out yet.
And also it's our community room, so we have used it for events. We do our Feed a Family dinner upstairs as well.
Right, fundraising dinners up there, and so and it's right in South Omaha. It's a great location, and so we're just excited. We've been partnering with you at least 3 years now, I think, and it's been fun to do that. So
it's been great getting to know you and your church as well.
Yeah. So let's segue to something else for a minute. So we started Transformation Omaha a year ago, and you came out at our first event. Tell us what your experience was there. Tell us why you came out.
Sure.
Just share from some personal insights. So.
Absolutely. Well, when you shared it with us, my colleague Amanda and I, we just really felt like since it was your first one, we were also in South Omaha. That made it more local in our community.
Right.
We love our community in South Omaha. A lot of our clients come from South Omaha. So we really felt like we needed to be a part, and so I decided to come out. I think of everyone, I have the most green thumb, so when you say park cleanup, I know how to use some clippers and a rake and things like that. So we kind of felt I was the best one to come, and I had a great time. It was really neat to see the transformation of the park. Right. 'Cause I know you had painted the bridge and
Right.
cleaned up some of the trash. I know I had to work on the other wall to clean up all the weeds, and
Right.
it was really just a beautiful transformation of that park. And I think it just shows the community that you really care for them.
Of the tasks that the Parks Department gave us, we got about 90% of it done.
Awesome.
Then part we didn't get done was the little basketball court. They wanted the lines painted there and the net replaced. But otherwise, we got all. We trimmed. I think we trimmed 90 trees that day. We took out like maybe 10 really big dead trees. Like you said, there was a bridge there. We weeded the playgrounds, brought in fresh sand around the playgrounds, brought in mulch around the trees. Probably had about 100 people working that day. And what was it, Deer Hollow Park? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Deer Hollow Park. I remember
You
the
had
fire
a great
station
crew
came by.
too. Everyone was just hands-on, willing to do whatever
Everyone.
needed. So
Yeah,
that
everyone
makes a
worked
great
so
team.
hard.
And Transformation Omaha is a merger, if you will, of business leaders, ministry leaders, and political leaders here in Omaha to see spiritual and physical transformation. And so we just started with the physical. We started with things that will make a difference for the lives of other people, whether it's children going to the park or families wanting to have a picnic or whatever. You know, it gives them an opportunity to actually go to a park that looks nice. It's cleaned up, it's painted, it's edged. There's not weeds growing in the playground. Playground equipment's not all falling apart and so on. And that's our goal, and it was a blessing. The Omaha Parks Department, we didn't know they were going to do this. They gave us their Volunteer Group of the Year award. It was
Wow.
crazy. You know, my initial response was, "Gee, you don't have many groups helping you because we'd only done it one time."
Wow.
But it was a blessing to serve and to help our city. So, and it was a blessing to have you came out. I know churches came out. 5 Points Bank came out. CBRE Real Estate came out. Some churches came out. Teen Challenge came out. Urban Plunge with Christ with Cities came out. There was a lot of different groups, and just people who weren't really with. Some Boy Scouts came out. So, you know, and that's kind of what we're aiming for is a wide representation of the community, which is what you also want at Heartland Hope, isn't it? I mean,
Yes. Yeah, we love our community and we want to see our community thrive. And I think what you had done that day just really helps. We want to make our city beautiful. We want it to look nice. And we
Right.
want to show our neighbors that we love them.
Right, especially since you're there in South Omaha, you know, and we did, second park was Elmwood Park, so we had a different group of people come there next to the UNO campus, you know, coming out. And so each time we do something, and we're not just going to do parks, but that's how we started. And so we just had our leadership meeting yesterday. We're looking at helping first responders. We're looking at helping Jim Laughlin and the Department of Roads here in Omaha and Sarpy County and Douglas County, all the freeways, and he oversees all those men and women working on the roads. And so we're looking for ways to strategize, to encourage, to bless, to honor, to help, and to assist, you know. And you do the same thing with Heartland Hope. I'm going to just thank you for a moment, and we referenced this in our last show, and we won't be doing it a lot, but Diane, hold up the book. Renae helped us publish this book, and at the time that we were publishing this book, we were wrestling with some financial things in our own lives, and so we just asked people if they would donate $50 to help us publish the book, and she was one of them, and I just want to thank you.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a blessing that
Yes.
I just put out an email, I didn't, you know, and different people stepped up and they were able to help us do this, and so it created an avenue to do something special. And
No, yeah, my pleasure.
what was your thought on the book? I know you've seen it, have you read it yet?
Yes, I love dogs. So the
Okay.
fact that it has a dog,
Okay.
I thought it was adorable.
Okay.
So, and I love just a new creative spin on some children's books. I think, a lot of kids love animals. So
Right.
it was really,
Yeah.
it's a really neat book.
We're hoping that Poodaloo someday becomes more famous than Barney, okay?
Yeah.
And more famous than Lamb Chop, you know, and maybe there's a movie or something, and
Yeah.
then you'll get some credits and rights from that too.
Yeah,
so
that'd be
a
great.
blessing, you know?
That'd be
So,
great. Yeah, we'd love to see
we'll-
Poodaloo in action.
Yeah, Poodaloo in action. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
I'd love
really
that.
fun.
That'd be
So, yeah. So thank you for helping us with
Not a
Poodaloo.
problem.
So we still have like half the show left, and that's what we want to spend time talking about Heartland Hope, because Heartland Hope mission gives food to the poor, gives clothing to the poor. Everything's free. Now there is a process they go through, and she'll share some of that, so somebody can't just come in and rip them off. I mean, that could always happen, even with the best processes. But it is designed to in an ongoing way, 2 or 3 times a week, now in 2 locations, right? You're in Millard and in South Omaha, to provide assistance to families that really are in need, really are struggling. So why don't you share some of what's going on and how that happens?
Absolutely. Well, we're coming up into the holiday season, and this can be a really stressful time for our families who are just struggling to make basic needs. They can't, pay all their bills maybe, or they're struggling to buy food. So when you have something like Thanksgiving and you have Christmas coming up, that can put a lot of stress on people because nobody wants to wake up Christmas morning and have no presents under the tree for their kids. Right. So we like to step in and really ease that burden. And so starting actually this Saturday in our Millard location will be our first Thanksgiving pantry. Wow. And what we like to do is either provide a turkey or a ham, all the sides and fixings, and a dessert to prepare a Thanksgiving meal.
I'm a great ham. I can show up, and if you need to provide a ham.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah. And so
not that kind of ham, huh? Okay.
Well, and there's still time to help with that. So if you feel led to help with that, you can give $25 will help one family for Thanksgiving, and you can give right on our website at heartlandhopemission.org. But yeah, so and then South Omaha, it's going to be November 16th through the 26th. We're open 3 days a week, so a Tuesday night, Thursday afternoon, Saturday morning. So if you know of anyone that might need help with that, please pass that along. And then also November is a time to register for Christmas. We ask families to register just because we want to make sure that no one's going anywhere else, that they stay at one location. We also want to make sure it's parents and legal guardians, but they can register for their kids and they actually get to come shop. There's 3 days in December. It's going to be December 17th, the 19th, and the 21st. So what I love about Christmas in South, though, is that we restored that dignity to allow parents to come shop. They really get to feel more of a personal touch. Like I can go pick Iron Man toys for my son who loves Iron Man, or things like that. And they also get wrapping paper, Christmas cookies, and even a Christmas pantry. So they get a full-blown Christmas morning kind of in a bundle. Nice. So, and we'll help around 1,200 children for that.
Go ahead and ask some of the questions we shared.
How did you first get involved at Heartland Hope? I mean, you said you went to school and you learned about interior design, and then now you're working at Heartland Hope. What?
So I started as a volunteer, and I was actually going down with an outreach team, and we would go down to pray for people. And I was fairly new to praying for other people. I was not very comfortable with that. But I really wanted to step out of the box and just kind of be used, in any way I could. And God really helped grow me in doing that. And in the process, I fell in love with Heartland Hope Mission. What I loved about it was that it helped people just like you and me. Sometimes we get the idea that poverty is only the people that are homeless or sleeping on the side of the road, and that is a layer of poverty. Right. But a lot of times there are just people going through a temporary season that, something happened, like, a job loss. Right. And I could connect with that. I could relate to that. And so I just loved getting connected, and it actually opened a door for me to work there. And before I had worked at a bank, actually, and I really was happy and wasn't looking, but I decided to take that leap of faith and take on a new position, and I've never regretted doing that. So
great.
What is actually your position title? What did you do?
I started off as a client service specialist, and those are the people that get to meet one-on-one with clients. So I did a lot of just meeting one-on-one with the clients when they came in, giving them referrals to if they needed additional assistance outside of what we do. We're trying to, get them out of their situation. And then I was promoted about a year after that. I started in 2016, so about 2017, to community relations specialist. So I got to actually start learning how to work with donors, a little bit of fundraising, community presentations and events. So it's been a really great experience, and I've been learning quite a bit in my new role.
Can I ask a question? I'm just curious, and I've never asked you this. Hope it's okay to ask this. Are you do you have to raise your own support? Do you have salary? How do you make ends meet?
Sure.
You personally, how does that work?
Sure. So I do get a salary, and I'm a full-time, so there's, set for that. We do a lot of fundraising. We also apply for grants. You go to you see the names listed around the community. We do a lot of fundraising. Our fundraising dinner is one of our biggest means to do that.
And I know our church supports you, and I'm sure other churches in the community also support you.
Yes, so we are faith-based. So we like to get connected with our churches here in our community. We all pretty much have the same goal, reach those that need it most. So
right. And it could be a variety. I know that one of the times we came and served, there was a Catholic church there one time, a Mormon church there another time. There's been different groups helping you, even non-church type groups helping you, coming in, serving and helping. And go ahead with your questions, but I want to come back to one question. So,
what are some of the special events that you do throughout the year to, bring awareness and to maybe help stock up the pantry?
Yeah, so one of our biggest food drives is called Stuff a Truck. I don't know if you've heard of that, but we partner with all the Omaha Hy-Vees and we sell $5 and $10 bags. And we have several volunteers that help us man those tables for about a week. And that's one of our biggest. I mean, it really gets us through the end of the year. We also did a community event, our first one this summer, called our Red, White, and Blue Block Party. We did it around the 4th of July. And we just served hot dogs, free music, fun and games. That was a really great success, a really great turnout. I think we're thinking of doing that again. And then our Feed a Family dinner, which is in the fall. That's one of our biggest fundraising dinners. So we bring a lot of our donors, volunteers, a lot of people who are connected get to come on site. It kind of feels like a family reunion in a way, because I get to see a lot of the people that I get to see throughout the year all in one, all at once. So it's a great time, and
fun.
And we actually hit our goal this year.
Super.
Yeah, so that was really exciting.
Super.
Yeah.
So I know at my time that I've been there, just for our viewers, primarily I've served in the food distribution. People come through, they've been cleared to come through, they're given numbers that I guess based on how many people are in their family shows how much food they could get. And I've often helped in the meat area so that they can get 2 meats, 3 meats, 4 meats, 5 meats, depending on what their needs are in their families. And they come through and you have helpers. It's not like grab and go. They don't get to grab the items. They do kind of do in the bakery area, but the rest of that stuff they have to ask. Isn't that right? Can you
it's formulated. It's formulated on family size. So, a family of 1 isn't going to get as much as a family of 10. Right. So we calculate it to where there's enough food for the entire family for 3 meals a day for 5 to 7 days.
Okay.
Right.
And they can only come once a month. To receive services. So they can only come once a month.
Weekly.
They cannot come weekly, and then senior citizens or 60 and older and disabled can come twice a month. We do help them a little bit more. Some of them are only on a fixed income.
That's interesting because and we've come, we come like maybe 2 or 3 times a year, so we don't come in succession of weeks. Right. And I've seen some of the same people every time we've come over the 3 years. So I was under the impression they could come every week.
No, just once a month. Wow. And the last I remember is 50% of our clients only have come once a year.
So, and I know that she won't maybe share all the details. They even have men push the carts out to the cars or to the edge of the property. The carts can't leave the property. And because then the carts how much are the carts alone? They cost a lot of money.
They range from about 200. I've heard even up to 400.
That's what I've heard
they're
too.
Pretty pricey.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. So can you imagine shopping carts of disappearing? That'd be a lot of money every week. So they have it down pretty good. They have security there. They have some training. They have things for the children. As you have it's a well-rounded, well-thought-out strategy for people to be encouraged and blessed, whether it's at the Millard location or the South Omaha location, 3 times a week, only once a month. And you think, wow, only once a month. Are there really that many clients? How many on the average on the Saturdays? How many families units come through?
We can easily see on average 100 families come through on one pantry day. Wow. Yeah, and last year in 2018 we served around 45,000 people at food pantry. Wow,
45,000 for the whole year? Wow,
that's and combined with both locations.
Yeah. So, and tell about the clothing side too. Share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we do offer a clothing pantry and all sizes are welcome. We do not charge for our clothing, and we also have household items. The only thing we don't help with is furniture, and we don't take large electronics because sometimes they're not working. Right. And so families can come in and shop, and we do rely on the community to help us refill our clothing center. So anyone's welcome to donate gently used clothing that they're no longer in need of, or even household items. I know that's been a blessing for our flood victims, even that have lost everything.
Yeah.
They've been able to come in and get things like pillows, linens, kitchen utensils, clothing. So yeah, if anyone ever wants to drop off clothing, they can do it during any of our pantry times that are listed on our website at heartlandhopemission.org. And we can also provide a tax receipt if they need as well.
And if you're watching this on YouTube and saying flood victims, Nebraska is kind of flat. Well, we've had massive floods in 2019, actually 3 different times, where the interstates have been closed, thousands and thousands of acres of farmland are underwater, cattle killed and so on, crops gone, but whole towns just inundated underwater in the area. And so it's been an ongoing struggle to maintain help for all these people. And
they're still dealing.
And they're still dealing.
dealing
Right now, as we sit here, this show is being aired, produced in November. I don't know when you're going to see it. There's thousands of acres underwater, and so it's an ongoing problem.
It is, yeah. And both locations were fairly close to a lot of that flooding. There was the Bellevue area, so we saw quite a few people come through. We even went to Bellevue Christian Center when they had that site for flood victims to receive help. We decided to bring a mobile pantry and provide some food for people that needed help too. So yeah, they're still trying to recover from that. Unfortunately,
that's incredible, isn't it?
Wow. It doesn't. It's not an overnight.
I had a question and now I can't remember.
Well, let me. What's your greatest need right now?
Greatest need is toys. We need toys for children ages 0 to 17, brand new. They can actually be donated at our South Omaha location at 2021 U Street, unwrapped, and we need them by Tuesday, December 10th, because then we'll start inventory and then distributing toys that following week. So yeah, brand new toys.
Now, if you need anybody to come down there and just play with the toys in advance, I volunteer, okay, just to check them out, make sure they're okay. It's kind of like checking the food before everybody else eats it. So if you need somebody, I would volunteer for that.
That's important. You want to make sure the batteries
especially
are working.
Especially the boys' toys, girls' toys, I'm like, maybe not. But
that's important. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
one thing I noticed is, when I helped out there at Heartland Hope, and it was in the food pantry, is you look at their faces, and so many of them are so appreciative, and many of them say thank you, thank you. There were hardly any that were, and the lines were long going through, and it took time to go through the line, but they were all patient, and there was never any griping or complaining or move along or so it was really it really touches your heart.
Well, and it's not easy coming to a food pantry. It's very humbling. A lot of times they're embarrassed that I'm even asking for help. They maybe have never been in this situation before. And for us, when we go get our groceries, we're in 15 to 30 minutes, from in and out. It can take up to, an hour sometimes for someone from start to finish to get in, wait in line, talk to client services, and then go get your food and clothing. So it's not an easy process.
And the thing is, when you think of a mission, you think of the down and out, the really, really poor people, and they're not all that. Some of them maybe just lost their job, and they were having, they had a really good salary, and now they have nothing. So.
And cost of living, and even if you have savings, it can go very quickly. So sometimes people kind of live on their savings, and then there's a point where it gets depleted and they need someone to turn to. So that's one of the main reasons I love Heartland Hope Mission, because we can be there for people in those situations.
Or they have major medical reasons that you don't anticipate.
Some of the saddest stories I've seen, I remember one time I had a single mother in my cubicle, and she was going through chemo and just unable to work. And I also had a lady going through lupus, and she was having complications from her medicine. And she was like, my check used to be $2,000, and I have been unable to work, and now it's only $200, and I can't pay my bills,
Wow.
So it's just, it's just situations like that.
Do you provide money for bills and things for utilities too? Do you do some of that?
We don't at this time provide any financial assistance. If someone does have that need, maybe they're in the process of getting evicted, or utilities shut off, we do refer them to other agencies here in Omaha that do help provide that. Sometimes we can step in a crisis situation and for a short time provide extra food.
Right.
You know, if that can help them, maybe instead of paying for groceries, they can put that money towards their rent or utilities. And that has worked before in those crisis situations.
So, you know, we're getting closer. We need to wrap up. And I mean, having been there several times, we've served in winter, summer, whatever. You know, wish you could serve more often. But if people want to volunteer, they've never come there. They just want to come and serve. They want to help with an outreach. They want to help with clothing or food, or they want to donate. Do you take food items from people too?
Yep,
Like
as long as
people?
it's not used or open,
Right.
they can donate those items.
So if they want to just come on a Saturday and work, what's the best way to do that?
Really the best way would be go to our website and sign up, heartlandhopemission.org, and then we will follow up with you and send volunteer instructions and get you scheduled.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then you guys have an annual fundraising dinner. I know you've already had it this year. I think the year we were there, John and Viv Ewing were the hosts. Who was your host this
So
year?
Jason and Chris Tiki, and Jason's on our board, so
Okay.
they did it this year. They were great.
Okay. So anything else you want to share about Heartland Hope that just pops in your head? You got about a
Yeah.
minute or two left here.
No, yeah. If anyone feels compelled to help, you know, we're at the end of the year. This is our busiest season with the holidays. So if you just feel compelled even to help, maybe you can't shop for toys, maybe you can't volunteer, you know, just any gift amount would just be wonderful to get us through the holidays. At heartlandhopemission.org, click the donate button. We would truly appreciate your support.
And there's some cooperative work with some of the other, like I know the last time we were there, you had gotten some food from the Open Door Mission, right? So you must have some cooperation back and forth as well.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah, we love to work with other agencies. So we're all trying to do the same thing. And Open Door Mission's one of our great friends. So
Right.
yeah, we will share things like that. If we have excess food, we'll give it to them, vice versa. So
You guys have almost come out of total anonymity to something really spectacular, especially as you got a new building, because
Yes.
a lot of people never heard of Heartland Hope. Now, many people in the community are hearing about
it's
Heartland
great.
Hope. So,
Yeah, we're excited for that, and excited for the new seasons ahead. So
right. So I'm going to say a quick prayer, and we didn't pray in the last thing. We don't always pray, but I feel led to just pray for you guys. So, Father, we just thank you for Heartland Hope and for the
Thank you, Lord.
ministry that they do in our community, and for the blessing they are to so many people, Lord, regardless of their culture or their race or their background. They do the checking, they make sure that the right people are getting the right food and the right needs that they have, and providing for our flood victims. And obviously, Lord, they need financing, they need people, they need food, they need help. We want to be part of that with caring community. We want to serve and bless and help. So we thank you for them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
So we just thank you. Thank you very much. So
and thank you for having me on here today.
yeah. So this is Caring Community. I hope you turn in again the next time we're on. So thank you so much. See you then. Bye-bye.